The moon doesn't emit any light of its own. The only reason we can see it in the sky is because it reflects the light from the sun. The moon rotates on its axis at roughly the same rate that it orbits the Earth, so we only ever see one side of the moon from here on Earth. And for most of human history, all we knew about the moon was that one side. We didn't even know what the other side looked like until the Soviet Union. Luna 3 spacecraft took the first photos of the far side of the moon in 1959. But sometimes the moon looks different. Sometimes it appears reddish in color. People born in the 20th century might remember when the moon turned a deep red color on July of 1963. It was the night before the solar eclipse that would occur the following day. The moon was in its new phase, so it wasn't reflecting very much sunlight. But an atmospheric phenomenon known as Rayleigh scattering caused the moon to take on a reddish tint. If you remember that night, you could have been forgiven for thinking the apocalypse was nigh. The Bible says in the book of Revelation that the moon will turn red like blood when the one who sits on the throne pours out the sixth bowl of his wrath upon the earth. Of course, it's not the only time this has happened. It happens about twice a year. It also happened just last month on November when people around the world witnessed a total lunar eclipse. During a lunar eclipse, the moon passes through the darkest part of the Earth's shadow, which is why it's sometimes called a blood moon or a blood-colored moon. A total lunar eclipse can only happen when the moon is at its closest approach to the Earth in its orbit. This is called perigee. The moon is about 400 kilometers closer to the Earth at perigee than it is at its farthest distance, apogee. As the moon gets closer to the Earth, the sunlight bounces off at steeper angles and passes through more of the Earth's atmosphere. The blue wavelengths of light scatter away, leaving mostly red and orange hues. So when will we get to see another red moon? There's one coming up soon. On December, there will be a total lunar eclipse visible from almost everywhere in the Americas as well as parts of Northern Europe, Northern Africa, and the Middle East. But if you missed that one, there are several more lined up for 2024, January, February, March, and April. You'll be able to see those from most of Africa, the Middle East, Central Asia, and the Indian subcontinent. And there's one more after that on September. That one will be visible from most of the world, except for North America. Now you're probably wondering why the moon turns red during an eclipse. But not every time it is close to the Earth. That is, because the amount of red or orange color you see depends on how much dust is in the Earth's atmosphere. On average, there is about 0.04 milligrams of particles per cubic meter of air in the atmosphere. But that amount varies widely depending on where you are and when you are seeing the moon. When there's more dust in the atmosphere, like during a volcanic eruption or after forest fires, you'll see more red. That's why in 2021, when a large volcano erupted in La Palma in the Canary Islands, some people reported that the moon looked unusually red for weeks afterwards. And if you want to see the red moon for yourself, you don't need any special equipment. Just step outside, look up at the moon, and take it all in. Just make sure you do what one guy did in 2017. He tried to take a selfie with the lunar eclipse by holding his iPhone up to his rearview mirror. Don't do that. Not only will your phone's auto brightness ruin the photo, but the mirror will prevent you from seeing the moon. Instead, put your phone down and reflect on the fact that you are alive at the same time as this unique astronomical event. Or better yet, put your phone down and pick up a telescope. If you'd like to learn more about the moon, check out the links in the description below. One of them will take you to our site where you can sign up to have a personal telescope delivered right to your doorstep. No setup required. You will be able to see the rings of Saturn and the great red spot of Jupiter without ever leaving your home. If you can't see the red moon for some reason, you can even see a virtual version of it through the website.